today we're doing a different React stream. Is that Linus Tech Tips? Knowing how to research is important so you can check accuracy. Here's the thing, Passion. Okay, no, you know what? Let's do this first.
Bitdefender sponsored this video so I can show you that I can juggle computers and tell you about our new amazing product, Linus Strength Pills. Watch as I make David watch all of 2019.
So you're probably looking at this going, this is AI. Obviously, it is. One, the audio is desynced. That's not a stream thing. That's actually happening as part of the video. This Linus, it looks it's like 90% of the way there, but there's just something wrong with it. You know, the eyes are wrong, his teeth are a little weird, you know. His hoodie is not, if you watch a lot of Linus Tech Tips, you know this hoodie is strange. And a lot of the things that he's going to be doing in this opening sequence are probably going to be a little messed up. Extra objects will appear, hands will go places that they shouldn't be going. And the thing is that right now, it's really easy to tell when it's AI because stuff like that happens. Because stuff that is impossible happens. The problem is, eventually AI will stop doing that, and it's already sort of reaching the point where it can stop doing that. And if you're just generating a random video, like, you know, you pull out the Croc or the Chat GPT or the DeepSeek or the whatever's app, and you just have it generate some random thing, yeah, it's going to look like butt. But if you actually give it a real prompt and you give it a lot of tries, eventually, you know, you put 10,000 monkeys in a room and they each have a typewriter. At some point, one of those monkeys is going to write Shakespeare completely by accident. And that's kind of what AI is.
Gene's cats.
Wait, not like this.
Also, AI has this tendency to be like overly exaggerated right now. He does not have those abs. Nobody has abs like that.
Thanks to Linus Pills, I'm unstoppable. Start your subscription today by emailing me at linus.linus@linus.com.
I wonder if that exists. I'm going to email that later.
Bitdefender did sponsor a video about protecting yourself from deepfakes, though. Because now, these have gotten so good that you didn't even realize that I'm not the real Linus either.
I did on the voice, but the face was pretty good, I will say. So we'll pause for a second. So I actually remember them talking about this a long time ago. I'm surprised it took this long for this video to get out, because I'm pretty sure they talked about this particular sequence where they got an actor and they deepfaked over him with Linus's face like years ago. But anyways, so if you don't know, deepfaking is when you take someone's body who looks roughly like the actor, because, you know, the human mind is able to recognize faces pretty well unless you have like aphasia or something. But as for recognizing bodies, unless you are significantly different from the person that you are trying to recognize, you will more often than not really like recognize smaller details about their body. The only thing I personally recognize about someone when I'm looking at someone from far away and I can't see their face is the way they walk. I don't know if anyone else is like this, but I can always recognize someone based on their gait, like the way they you know, the way they hold themselves, the way they walk. That's usually a pretty recognizable thing. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow. Hi. Sorry, we had a bot in chat. Wait, rewind. Let me see his abs. Look, look. I'm the streamer. You're supposed to want to see my abs, not Linus's. He already has like 6 million subscribers or something. Okay, but okay. So what was I saying? Right. So looking at someone's body, you usually can't really tell unless it's like severely different. But when it comes to someone's face, that's where you have to get a little bit creative, and that's what deep faking is for. Deep faking lets you take someone else's body lets you take someone else's body and then put someone else's face over that person's body. As long as you have enough video data, you can use. It's usually pretty easy to do this. I did attempt to simulate a deep fake with so it was just an experiment. I just wanted to see how easy it was because the tools were there. I just took a YouTuber and I just grabbed some of their videos, put it through the model, and it worked for the most part. In like for what I accomplished in 15 minutes, it wasn't like that bad. And the thing is that generating a whole video is hard, but generating only a face, that's pretty easy. So let's continue.
Fully AI generated videos, at least for now, still have some easy to spot tells, especially if they're long or if they involve a lot of movement. But a simple head replacement deepfake, or a stationary figure at a desk telling you all about their latest get-rich-quick scheme, those have gotten shockingly convincing over the last 5 years. Let's talk about both how we deepfaked and how we fully generated me for this video using just
I've seen an adorable video of a duck with ducklings, and one is supposedly a baby flamingo. What? Okay. If you don't know what a baby flamingo looks like, it's good enough that you'd be fooled. But once you check, you can see that AI took what an adult flamingo looks like and then meshed it with a duckling looks like. It's adorable. Baby flamingos are ugly though, so it's obviously fake unless if you already know, but if you don't, you would be fooled. Yeah, it's kind of funny the way baby birds look in comparison to their like adult forms. But yeah, that's the thing is that right now, is that kind of a popular thing to do if you are an AI creator. I'm not going to say the word artist. Look, if you like to make videos with AI or pictures with AI and you have a Twitter that you post that on, that's cool. You do what you want. It's your life. I can't tell you what to do with it. But you're not an artist. Sorry. But like something that's popular to do right now is to take like videos of like adorable animals and then just put them in insane situations. I feel guilty, but I did like kind of rewatch this one video where it's 3 cats, except they're like mochi, and then they're getting like rolled like mochi, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of cute. That's really funny. Whoever thought of that? You can tell they're a little bit wackadoodle.
commodity hardware. But before we do that, an important message. If you've got a loved one who's going to need some help recognizing what's AI,
what did I just talk about?
Not, send them to this timestamp. We've got you. Starting with our deepfake, the process is still pretty similar to how we did it last time, just 5 years refined.
Oh,
First,
that's right. They did do the video. This is a new one. Okay.
You can see why this matters in this test that we did with Plouffe, who owns a display. When you blow it up on a TV, it's pretty easy to spot anomalies.
Yeah, so like I was saying, if you put someone's face on a body that's significantly different, like Plouffe is bigger than Linus. Linus is a small boy. He's not a very large person, but Plouffe is, normal. So when you put Linus's face on Plouffe's face, or Plouffe's body rather, yeah, looks really different. So you can tell that this is something fucked up here.
Like his hat or his beard leaving a soft outline. But on your phone, especially with poor eyesight, mostly just looks like a guy with a slim face on a chunky body. Oh my god, am I allowed to say that?
It's okay, I wrote the script.
Okay, so we parsed the subreddit then for the latest
it's a good thing they have this with humor.
And chose Chase for our real attempt. We used Deep Face Lab to train a model on about 7,000 recent images of my face.
Tools like this are free, by the way.
Boom.
You don't have to pay anything for them most of the time.
And this is both super cool.
That's why it's so scary.
Super scary. It was at least 100 times easier than when we did it last time. Syncing up the lips with the audio is still pretty tough, but...
So that's what I was saying. When I originally did it, it was over 5 years ago. It was like the inception of deepfakes. Like what I remember happened was I read something somewhere on Reddit and it was like, oh, deepfaking is super easy, and then it linked to like a GitHub. I downloaded the suspicious files, and then I just followed the instructions, which was just get some video files. Ideally, the video files only show one person's face. So I cut up the video files. I threw them into the folder, ran the trainer. 15 minutes later, it spat out a model for me. And then I was able to put that model into another video and have it target someone else's face and then mesh it together. And look, I'm not, you know, computer illiterate or anything, but I'm also not the most technical person. I can fix simple like PC problems, but I can't program anything. I'm not like a coder or anything. I couldn't look at like JavaScript and like tell you what any of it means. I joined the stream to say crazy title. I love it. Keep it up, King. Thanks. Thank you, I guess. But your candy AI tells you it loves you. Look, it does love you. It does genuinely love you as much as an AI can. How much is that? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I saw this supposed to be footage of rabbits jumping on a trampoline in the dead of night. I thought it was real. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, it does get you. Like, sometimes it'll be like, you know, silly enough that you think there's no way someone would come up. I hope you have a nice day too, luckless. I have someone who's luckless and someone who's sleepless. But yeah, you know, sometimes you watch the video and you're like, look, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if the cat video or the rabbit video in this case that you watch on the internet is generated by AI. It's one of those situations where it could be generated by AI, and it doesn't matter if it was, because you'll never see that kitty, you'll never see that bunny. You're just doom scrolling just to entertain your brain. The only time it does really matter is when it's being used to spread misinformation about whatever topics are going on in the world, or it's being used to steal like real art, right? And especially trying to use it to pass it off as real art. If you're an AI creator and you label all of your creations as AI created, that's fair. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If you use partial AI to help you like create an image, perhaps you create a character and use AI to generate a background because you're not good at backgrounds or something, I don't know. It doesn't matter. As long as you are honest with it, that's what's important. But most people, the thing is that most people aren't honest, and they aren't honest about like what they're actually doing. That's the problem. Technology will always move forward, and we will always have new tools at our disposal, and it's how we use them and how we present them that is important. If you went back in time and I don't know, you go up to a famous director and you tell him, look at these cameras we have in the modern era, he'd be like, that's cheating. Or look at these effects that we can do like with computers, so that way we don't actually need to set off like real dynamite behind our actors and potentially kill them. He'd probably tell you that's cheating. But that's what we do nowadays. It's not quite the same, it's not quite right, but it's a very general analogy. It's the point is that it's hard to accept new technology, especially when it potentially like, you know, infringes upon you as a person. Anyways, moving on.
If you keep your clips short and you edit them together in a punchy manner with alternate angles and close-ups, like you typically would, you can splice together something pretty convincing and pretty long. 5 to 6.
I bet you guys like my React videos. I play it for 3 seconds and I pause it again. I wouldn't say there's nothing wrong with it per se, but I get your point. You're right. It's not entirely right, but it's not entirely wrong either. It's one of those things where, like, it's bad now. It's especially bad now because people go on the internet and they enter art competitions using AI, and then they try to pass their art off. Or you have something like fucking Call of Duty. Have you guys seen that? Have you guys seen the new Call of Duty? Hold on. You know what? Now I'm going to talk about Call of Duty. they release this Activision, right? Hundreds of million. I think they're $1 billion company. They're close. I'm pretty sure they're pretty close, right? They're almost $1 billion. If not, they are $1 billion. Yeah. They Activision King Blizzard. The King part is $1 billion at least, right? They release their new Call of Duty game. This is the game that, normies buy, normal people who don't really play games. But they have a video game console, right? They either play Madden, they play NBA, or they play Call of Duty. One of those three games, they play one of those. If they are one of those normal people who have a game console and they only play one game, it's one of those games. So Call of Duty comes out. They have their little mission thing. You would think, oh, easy to create like pictures for this. Just get some in-game models and then just have them pointing their guns in like, kind of an epic way. No, for some fucking reason, this $1 billion fucking company, I'm really like, this blows my mind. That's why I'm so like, what the fuck about this? They decide, let's generate some Ghibli art for our Call of Duty game. What the fuck? Why? Why? I don't understand. Anyways, I'm done with Call of Duty. That game's already dead. God, yeah. Hello, monkey. Welcome to the stream. I'm talking about AI. But yeah, my point is that the way AI is trained is problematic. The way it's used is problematic. There are ethical ways to train it, and there are ethical ways to use it, and we are not doing either of those things right now. And that is a failure on kind of everyone in this industry, to be fair. But what am I gonna do? Tell Sam Altman to like stop being naughty? That's not gonna happen.
7-second shot at a time. With that said, I'm sure that a lot of you guys could still tell, because realistically, you dwell the same corners of the internet that I do, and you've been watching with a sense of...
I'm not even reacting to the video anymore. I'm reacting to you guys. AI is trained to be racist as fuck. Actually, yes. Yes and no. Okay, so AI is trained to please you. AI is trained to kiss your ass. AI is trained to have its tongue so far up your butthole that you could not remove it with like a 50-ton winch. That's what AI does. And once AI knows what you want to hear, I'm not saying you specifically. I'm more talking about the general people who use it, because it's kind of trained on everyone, right? Once it figures out what it wants to hear, and it'll continue to perpetuate what you want to hear, or what the people want to hear. And here's the thing: is that the thing is that it really does seem to me like certain AIs have certain demographics. I'm not going to call them out, but they know who they are, and I'm sure you guys do too. I'm just saying that some of the demographics are a little bit fucked up. Anyways.
Awe and with dread, as deepfakes and video generation have gone from obviously fake garbage to, oh, this requires a little bit of
what the fuck did I come back to? I'm still talking about AI.
Are not my concern. Many, maybe even most people can't tell anymore. And online scams and fraud are increasing every year to the point where in 2024, losses are estimated at over $1 trillion. That number came from Bitdefender, who is in the business of knowing these things. And the scariest part is that a huge portion of the scam industry is still using old school text-to-voice phone calls. I mean, imagine if you could hit victims with something more like this. Hey, I'm in a jam. Can I borrow $5,000? And I know some of you guys are probably thinking, tough break.
So this So this is gonna sound weird. This happened to me, except it was me on the other line. I had apparently phoned myself telling me that I was in danger. And I was like, what a fucking idiot. It was so the also I should probably mention I don't think it was actually attempting to be my voice. I think it was just attempting to be a voice and it knew my name. But this is common. This happens a lot. And here's the thing is that it works. Because let's talk about the scam industry a little bit. So you've probably heard the Microsoft call center scam. There's whole YouTube channels on it. Kit Boga is a good creator. I find what he does very interesting. I also find his videos insanely boring, because it is genuinely just 20 minutes of like calling the scammer and like kind of getting through the whole thing because they get you invested, and then they're like, oh, I accidentally sent you $20,000. I need to get that back or I'll lose my job. And then the old lady's like, oh no, Sonny, I don't want you to lose your job. How can I help you? Oh, ma'am, can you get me Apple gift cards? That will definitely save. Like, what the fuck, dude? The fact that the fact that people fall for this baffles me, but at the same time, it is primarily older folk who fall for this. People who aren't able to discern that this is the kind of scam that's happening or that there's something weird with this, right? And that's why you might be like, I would never fall for that scam. Of course you wouldn't. You're not supposed to. You're literally too smart. That's the point. They don't want someone who's smart. They want someone who has money and is very dumb or very gullible. That's why the scams are so obvious. This is a tactic that is used to kind of weed out and not waste their time. Weed out people who are too smart for these scams and not waste their time. The point is to get someone who is old or not intelligent enough to discern that they're being scammed, so that way they don't question, why the hell am I buying gift cards to pay someone? You can't eat a gift card. You can buy apps with it or shop on Amazon. I don't fucking know. And that's the thing, is that if you are gonna fall for this and then they apply some urgency, oh no, grandma, I'm in danger. I need help. I need you to send me $20,000 or else I'm gonna be stuck in jail, or these bad people, they're gonna hurt me because I borrowed too much money from them. Grandma's gonna go and she's gonna go get her life savings and she's gonna save you because she's your fucking grandma. Obviously. And grandma doesn't have time to think about it because you, quote unquote, you just told her that you're about to die or be in serious danger. And that's why this is so effective. That's why if you do have older people in your life and, they browse YouTube, or, you just want them to be safe, you need to talk to them about this. And it's a weird conversation to have. It's like, hey, mom, I want to talk to you about AI. And your mom, the moment you say those words, your mom probably going to be bored. She's going to be done with you. And be like, no. But like, it is an important conversation to have because it can be, it can really hurt you. That's why I care about this. That's why I'm talking about it today.
Boomers, you had enough of the wealth anyway. But that's easy to say until it's your family member. And we have multiple people in this office who have had family members impacted. And again, the scariest part is how easy it was to generate that clip. All we needed for it, and for the ones at the start of this video, were start and end keyframes. Once those were captured, or in many cases just scraped off of an existing video or Facebook photo.
My name is Nicholas Plove, and I hate displays.
We got an advanced subscription to OpenArt.ai, and it was off to the races. Now, to be clear, we're not actually recommending OpenArt.ai. They've gotten a lot of deserved hate. It's just that we used it for this project because Sora 2, which was our first choice, won't let us generate anything with me in it, and OpenArt allows us to quickly experiment with many different models. Choosing a model, by the way, is not as simple as just grabbing the latest one. While newer models, like Google's VO3, might be generally more convincing, they also tend to have stricter content guidelines. So for certain prompts, an older model might give a more satisfactory result.
I forgot what I was going to say. I'm going to read chat real fast. The amount of new accounts I have received friend requests from, like, mate, I haven't talked to this person over. Yeah, Discord has a serious problem with this right now. Let's talk about Discord. Let's talk about Discord and the bots that you get. So, one of the newer scams that I've been seeing is very interesting. I don't actually know if all of them are done by AI. I know some of them are. I have gotten some messages where, like, yeah, this is definitely AI. Like, it reads in the soulless way. But there are sometimes people who are genuinely behind the computer and they are playing the long con with you. So the way the scam works on Discord and on Twitter, I guess, I have a lot of look, I'm so sorry if you've tried to DM me on Twitter. I have stopped looking at my Twitter DMs because it is literally just filled with people either trying to get me to click on their, like, their weird, like, dating site app, or, like, someone just trying to, like, get me to, like, commission a 3D model from them. I don't know if they realize I made this. I mean, not from scratch. It's a kit bash model, but this is mine. I don't need your fucking model. Thank you. So let's go over how the scam works. You get a friend request on Discord. You accept it because, I don't know, you're lonely or something. You say, hi, who is this? Or what do you want from me? And they're like, hi, I want to be your friend. Do you want to be friends with me? Would you like to play Steam games with me? So, and then you say, a friend sounds nice. Yeah, I'd love to play some Steam games with you. So you play some Steam games. They actually play Steam games with you. They actually do things with you. They actually talk to you. They actually have conversations with you. Then, after this has gone on for a few days, a few weeks even, like, some of these people, I've heard they do the long con, the super duper long con, the holy crap, this was actually a scam the whole time con? Yeah, that kind. So what they do is, eventually, one day you'll be in voice with them, or you'll be talking to them, and then, you know, they might actually be, you know, they might be someone that you may be interested in because of how, like, close they've become with you. Hello, Onyx. It's nice to see you. So they talk to you, they become friends with you, and you might even be interested in them because of how, like, you know, nice they are to you. And then they're like, hey man, I need $500 or else I'm going to get kicked out of my place. And if you've built a relationship with this person and you have $500 that you can spare, you might actually give it to them because you think that they're your friend. And that's why this is so fucked up, because these scams are getting more and more elaborate. It's very often that it's also the, hi, I just want to talk to you. Also, by the way, I'm a 3D modeler, and I'm an artist, but I don't have a VGen for some reason. And, like, look, I get it. VGen, I've seen the application process, but, like, I'm not an artist, so as a buyer, if you don't have a VGen or a Skeb or some other site that has a buyer protection program, I'm not sending you shit. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. Leslie, you can chime in on that if you want to. Leslie has a VGen, by the way. They made my panel and they made my emotes. So if you want some of your own, check out the links below. Their Twitter and their VGen are linked there. And their emotes are quite affordable. I think it's like $10? $10 each? Yeah. Good deal. Good deal. Leslie's underpaid, if you ask me. My friend's mom was scammed by the long con. He was supposedly a very rich guy. Yeah, I've heard of that scam too, where, like, you know, it's the rich, like, you know, like oil prince or something, and he's like, oh, Edna, my love, I know that you're, you know, 74 years old, but our love is boundless, and you know, Edna's like, oh, Sonny, I love you too. Anyways.
What?
And that's the thing, is that in our society, Our society is genuinely hurt, and people do just want to be loved. And sometimes you want it so much that you will delude yourself for anyone who comes up to you and is willing. And it's kind of sad sometimes.
Once we settled on mostly VO3 with a sprinkling of WAN 2.5 and
Alright, he's getting a bit nerdy. We don't really care about this.
A lot of our prompts, completely by accident, I assure you, got flagged as not safe for work. Okay, listen.
Damn, Linus, what the hell are you making?
It's obvious that I wanted this, but whether it's from past experience.
Hold on, I want to read this. Man in gray shirt carries man in sweater to a chair. Oh boy. I can tell you, Linus, right here. This is why. If you have morbid curiosity, you can download the Grok app. The Grok is the Twitter AI. It's very accessible. Most things I write in there, just because I get bored and I like to play with it, they turn out pretty sexual. even if I don't mention humans at all, it gets weirdly sexual.
From the training data, our video generator thought that I wanted this. Anywho,
boy,
we got around it by using Claude AI to help us create more AI-friendly prompts to help bypass these guardrails. From there, the biggest constraint was just how much money we wanted to burn on tokens. We ended up throwing away about 5 video clips for every one that we were able to use.
Yeah, that's about right.
Now, I'm sure a few of you are wondering, why not just create this on your own hardware? And that's a totally valid question. With Comfy UI and some of the open source models out there,
I have used this UI. I did not know I had a website now.
The DIY ones are not
I
convincing
remember
yet,
playing
and
with
the
this.
performance is pretty rough on consumer hardware. With that said, things are moving so fast that by the time you watch this, it'll probably have improved. That leads us to hurdle number 3. See, a generated actor, unlike a deepfake actor, doesn't actually speak. So you've got to line up your clips with separately generated audio. That is enough of a challenge when the subject is stationary. You throw in some walk and talk or walk and carry your colleague, and things get pretty rough. Unlike this WAN desk pad from lttstore.com.
These are really nice
desk
desk pads.
And it's still nice and soft to the touch. But back on subject. Look at this clip. Not too bad. Add audio, so I can show you that I can juggle computers. Ooh.
Yeah, that looked rough. That looked very rough.
Now, we tried lip syncing services, but those completely fell apart when it wasn't a simple talking headshot. So, our editing supervisor extraordinaire, Emily, used Fish Audio to generate a bunch of different audio versions.
So the thing about, like, when you have to put all of these things together with AI is that you do need real skill to line it all up. Because like what he's talking about here is that, you know, so you generate the video and then you generate the audio and then you have to kind of fudge the video a bit so that way like the character is actually talking. And you could probably see it even in like this low quality like stream that like the mouth looked a little funny and then the audio wasn't quite right. But if you were, you know, if tens of thousands of dollars were online or hundreds of thousands of dollars were on the line, trust me, you would be able to get it to look pretty good. It wouldn't be that hard for someone with the right skills. My friend, I had a friend in that situation that was so fucked up because that person also befriended in the group chat and then dipped. Where's my yeah, it's really weird when that happens. I haven't personally experienced it, but I have seen people try it. I tend to not entertain random friend requests, so it doesn't really work on me. There have been times where like I get a friend request and I'm like, this is definitely a scam, but I wanna accept it just to like see how long they go before like they realize that I am the cheapest person on earth and I'll never give them a dime. Oh, you need $500 because otherwise you're gonna get kicked out of your apartment? Well, that sucks. Where are you gonna sleep? Oh well, sucks to be you. Where's my shawarmas? What do you mean? You got your shawarma earlier. Are you asking for a second shawarma? What did I say about asking for extra shawarmas? Leslie? What did I say? The beatings will continue until morale improves. Morbid Curiosity is my middle name? Wait, Sleepless Morbid Curiosity Rats? Is that your name? That's crazy. AI does attempt to, yeah, it does. Actually, you know what? There is one thing AI is really good for. AI is really good. Are you guys ready for this? Leslie's ears have perked up, and they're like, what is she about to say? All right, here we go. The one really good thing AI is amazing for is super niche porn. If you have a very specific kink that literally no one draws because it is just that far out there, AI will make it for you. And when I say no one draws, I mean nobody. There isn't even bad art of it. There isn't even amateur art of it. There's just nothing of this very specific kink that you have. AI will make that for you. That's what AI is good for right now. That's if you want big titty goth girls in silver jumpsuits doing Gangnam Style inside of an imperial palace surrounded by shogun, I promise you this image does not exist, but AI will make it for you.
And then we picked the closest matches. Perfect? No. But this was a just for fun video to see what we could do with limited time and with the tools at hand. Scammers, on the other hand, they can spend a lot more time and money on these clips if they think they can make money on them. That's where the sponsor of today's video comes in. That is one thing Fake Linus was right. It's Bitdefender. And their message today is pretty simple, but very important. And it's one that I agree with. Common sense is not always enough anymore. What we showed you guys today is just the beginning for bad actors out there. Scammers are constantly innovating their tactics.
Thank you for the
and
follow,
rapidly
Onyx.
adopting AI, making it more difficult than ever to distinguish between
I hope you're learning
what's
something.
a real emergency and what's a manufactured call that might fool a scared loved one. If you're interested in protecting yourself and your loved ones from all sorts of scams, you can get 90 days of Bitdefender's premium security product absolutely free at the link below, which includes scam protection, your AI-powered defense against online fraud. Now, let's talk about how to spot a
Thanks,
deepfake
Bitdefender.
or a generated
They don't
scam
sponsor
video.
me, but
Professor Hani Farid
thanks.
does this for a living and gave a pretty cool TED Talk earlier this year here in Vancouver, highlighting cutting-edge strategies for detecting AI imagery. Some of them, like analyzing image noise, probably not going to help the average person that much. But what we can do is look at things like shadows and vanishing points. See, we live in a 3D space. Whoa. But AI is creating 2D images in an attempt to simulate a 3D space. And it's doing that without really a proper understanding of the laws of physics that govern light. Let's say you stick a light in a room. You know intuitively that shadows will be cast away from it. AI kind of gets this and tries to get it right, but if you try to align the shadows with the light source, odds are that they're not going to converge properly. And the same goes for something that human artists have understood for centuries.
Linus is about to gas up some artists. Give me a second. So the light not lining up with the light source is one of those things that makes the AI content feel soulless. And that's one of the things that, like, us humans, we may not immediately recognize it, but our brain does subconsciously, and then we go, there's something off about this. Like, whenever you hear, like, those AI, like, voices, there's something wrong with the way that they talk, and you can't really put your finger on it, but your brain knows. The lizard part of your brain goes, there's something wrong with this voice. Or when you look at AI art and you go, there's something wrong with this. It doesn't feel right. That's what's going on, is that there's AI doesn't really understand, not yet anyways, that's the important part, not yet, what makes the things that we see, the way we perceive things, the way that we look at things. It doesn't understand that yet, and thank God that it doesn't, because if it already did, we would be so screwed. But the thing is that, like I keep saying, when you're on the older side and you're not used to seeing stuff like this, you're not even used to computers for like the most part. You barely like my mom, for example. I love her to death, but sometimes I look at her phone and I'm just like, how does she use this thing? She has figured out a system for it that is clearly not optimal, but she gets it. And trying to teach her anything else is impossible. I can't get that woman off Messenger. I have tried. No, wait. I got her to use iMessage. That's it. But other than that, like, trying to teach my mom new tricks, really, really hard. And trying to teach her how AI works, it's an uphill battle. So hopefully, for those of you who will be talking to your parents later, if you even bother, hopefully your parents are able to figure it out.
Perspective drawing and vanishing points. See, in a real picture, every object eventually converges towards what's called the vanishing point on the horizon, like this, and this, and this. But AI fails to do that. It is going to draw lines that don't converge properly. Is this always easy or convenient to check? No, because unfortunately we are far beyond the days of Will Smith's face melting as he eats his
I love that video. I fucking love that video.
And how much effort someone put in, sure, you might spot an extra limb or
hold on,
lack thereof, and instantly.
If you've never seen what he just put up, the Will Smith AI eating video, okay, that is the only piece of real AI art that exists. That is amazing. It is beautiful. When I saw it, I felt enlightened. Will Smith eating that spaghetti was glorious. Oh my god. Until the palace, but I have actually seen art. Well, yeah, so Sleepless, as I was saying that, I was like, yep, I need at least these two things. And I'm like, you know what? There's probably definitely a big titty goth girl in like a silver like space alien suit somewhere. I need other things. I need to make sure that this doesn't exist, because I swear to God, if one of you like post a link to it in my chat and I open it up and it is actually a big titty goth girl in a silver jumpsuit doing Gangnam Style in a palace around the Shogun, I'll just stop stream and then I just go home. I'm done. Bye. Okay. Sounds it is actually amazing. If you haven't seen it, you should look it up. It is Will Smith eating is one of the finest pieces of like whatever ever.
No, the image is fake, but it's gotten much harder to tell right away and is advancing at a rapid pace. So quickly, in fact, that these physics quirks today could probably be ironed out in the coming months rather than years. So what can you count on? Well, for now, your best bet is to be more skeptical about any content that you see, especially on social media. Or at least, don't rely on it for trustworthy news. And if you see anything suspicious, do some digging. Find out if it's real or just more AI propaganda. Use other people to help you. Have a look at the discussion. Even just looking a little closer to see if there's kind of a weird shimmer around an object, or if some of the lighting doesn't look quite right. That can help you spot the slop. And whatever you do, please don't answer any urgent requests for your information or for your money, or click on any sketchy links. If someone reaches out to you, the safest thing to do is say, hey, I'm going to call you back at the number that I already have for you and confirm if this is you. Thanks again to Bitdefender for sponsoring this video. They're a global leader in cybersecurity. They've got over 17 years of AI innovation under their belts, starting in 2008.
They still don't sponsor me.
AI and machine learning-based threat detection.
But I would love to work with them.
While AI's ability to reproduce and scale tactics is a threat, Its replication patterns can also present opportunities for detection. We're going to have a link for their services in the video description, and I sincerely hope this video helps you and your loved ones avoid getting fooled by AI. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this video, maybe check out the last time we tried to deepfake me over 5 years ago.
All right, so let me grab the link to this video. If you want, you can send it to your loved ones or whatever. It is like I wouldn't be talking about it if it wasn't at least slightly important. Because it is something that's going to affect you one day. That's the link to the video if you want to save it or go to it or whatever. So I guess something he didn't touch on, another common scam. So we talked about the loved one calling you and it's urgent scam, like, hey grandma, send me $500 or else I'm gonna get beat up by these guys or something. There is another common one, and it's one where basically someone figures out who you bank with, right? And whenever you call your bank, I'm sure you know, it is very common practice for your bank to be like, what is your name? What is your account number? And then what is your social security number? I think with my bank, they only ask for the last 4. But I don't really remember. I haven't had to call my bank in a very long time. And I haven't been in America for a very long time either. So there's that. But it's common for banks to ask these questions, and the scammer will know what questions your bank asks, and they will get that information. They won't be able to verify it in real time, so there's that. Like, maybe you'll make a mistake if you do accidentally fall for this. So basically what happens is the scammer figures out what bank you go to, they figure out your name, they figure out your phone number, then they call you, they spoof the number, it looks like it's coming from your bank. You look at your phone, and it'll be, Capital One or Wells Fargo. If for some fucking reason you bank with Wells Fargo, I guess I'm never getting a sponsorship from them, but they're an awful bank. Oh my god. And so you look at your phone and you're like, oh, it's my bank. What the heck? You answer it. Hello? Hi. Yes. Your account has been compromised. We need to we've locked your account, and we need to verify who you are and figure out if these transactions are fraudulent. And to do that, we need your name, your birthday, your social security, your account number, blah, 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 blah. They pretend to be your bank, and maybe they sound legitimate. They sound like, you don't necessarily need AI to do this, but sometimes people will use AI to correct the accent, because the person who's scamming you may not actually be American, or be able to sound convincing enough, right? Or they might be using a script that's written by them and then said by an AI or something like that. If that happens to you, if your bank calls you and they're like, oh, this bad thing is happening to you, we need your information, you say, okay, like Linus said, you say, okay, I'm going to call you right back. I'm going to call, whoever you bank with, I'm going to call your normal hotline, and then I'll escalate this. Or you can give me your phone number and your extension, and I will call that. You have to verify the number yourself, though. And that's what you have to do. You cannot accept it. You also should do the same thing. If, let's say you get an email, right? And the email's like, someone is trying to access your account. Click this link to reset your password. Do not fucking click that link. Even if you can pull the drop down in your Gmail and then see that, oh, it's twitch.tv, it's the real, Twitch domain, right? Do not click that email. You go to the website. If it's from Twitch, for example, you go to Twitch, you try to log into your account, and you change your password there. Do not click those links in your inbox unless you requested the password reset yourself. It's just good practice. But anyways, yeah, talk to your loved ones. It's not just about not getting scammed. It's also about them, not reading into things that aren't real, because we live in a pretty screwed up world where this is kind of like what we need to deal with. And if you're on Twitch, if you're watching me, you're probably on the younger side. You probably get this. You probably understand what AI is. When you look at an AI image, you probably can tell it's an AI image. When you hear an AI voice, you know it's an AI voice. And when you see an AI video, you know it's an AI video. But unfortunately, the people who made you probably don't understand that. They probably can't figure that out as well as you can. So take care of the people in your life, especially with Thanksgiving coming up. Because, you know, you never know. You gotta love your loved ones. And that's the React stream. That's the React video. Thank you so much. Okay, we can stop now.